everyone, and welcome to this edition of Stream On with Jim Williams, sponsored by our friends at BMW. Now, starting tomorrow on July the 13th, the Monday, is the 9th annual PBS Film Festival. Now, for those of you who haven't had an opportunity to partake of it, it is a fantastic festival. There's movies that pretty much pique the interest of just about everyone. And what I can say as someone who's been watching this 7 out of the 9 years, it just seems to get better. The quality of the films are better, the content is better, and the creativity continues to just become off the charts. Now, what PBS is going to do is they're going to put this on all their digital platforms, of course, which is pbs.org, PBS's YouTube channel, PBS Facebook, and they also have a special Facebook channel, which we will give all that information to you in the show box below as well as in the column, because that way you can get it on pretty much every possible platform. It'll also be available for those of us, I'm a big fan of Passport. It'll be available on Passport as well. So pretty much anywhere you look, you're going to be able to find this festival. And really, I think the key here is the engagement through Facebook and through the watch parties that they're going to have. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I highly recommend that not only do you take in the festival, which, as I said, begins on Monday, July 13th, goes all the way through the 24th, but that you also engage by going to the Facebook pages and really get involved in these watch parties. They're a lot of fun, and you get to talk to a lot of different people who share that same interest. You make a lot of friends. So by all means, get on there Monday and start getting involved with the PBS Film Festival. Now, we are lucky today because we're joined by Taryn Stewart, who's the Senior Manager and Multiplatform Marketing with PBS Digital. She's the head of the PBS Short Film Festival Initiative. She is someone who has always been enthusiastic about the festival. She is someone who is dedicated, she and her team, to making certain that this festival, as I said before, just keeps getting better and better every year. And Taryn, thanks for joining us. Let's talk about the 2020 PBS Short Film Festival.
No, I've been looking forward to this. So the PBS, now called the PBS Short Film Festival.
Right.
So it started out as the PBS Online Film Festival.
I remember.
So we launched back in 2012. And, I've been at PBS since 2008. So I was at PBS for 4 years before the film festival started. And I want to say that once we started with the film festival, I really felt like the work that I was contributing started being really a huge part of the mission. And,
right.
And PBS is, the goal that we have to make sure that we reflect the public, right? Being public media.
Sure.
So
yeah.
It was great, being a part of the first film festival that ever, that happened. So that was in 2012. Started with a select few producing partners,
right.
specifically to a group that was formerly known as the Minority Consortia. And that was year one. So year one, we had 30 films. It was over like 6 weeks.
Right.
We were just, trying to figure out, what was going to work best. So, come to 2020, here we are, we're in year 9. And we've kind of found our sweet spot. So on July 13th, we're going to launch with 25 films. And we are inviting our users and everyone to come and watch, vote, and share their favorites from July 13th through July 24th. So 25 films are going live on pbs.org/film festival. All 25 films will be available on YouTube at that time. And then we're also going to host watch parties, Facebook watch parties. This year, the films are grouped into different categories. So we have 5 different categories. So as the films roll out in each category, we're going to wrap up that category with a watch party every night on Facebook. Depending upon, when the category wraps up. So there's 5 different ones. And then on July 23rd, the day before the last day of the film festival, we're going to host a huge watch party on the main PBS Facebook page that starts at 5 p.m. 4 Central. So
Y-
that is what's going to happen. But I know you want to talk more specific.
no, I was just going to say, for those who have not done this, I've hosted a few of these watch parties,
Hmm.
and they are a lot of fun. And I highly recommend that you get out and check this out, because it really, you start to build a sense of community and a sense of connection with people
Hmm.
that you didn't even know existed before. And
Yeah.
it's really a fun opportunity to do something in a communal gathering that you normally wouldn't be able to do. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, this is the first time that we've done this with the film festival, but that is exactly why we're doing it, because we know that these films, they are just, I mean, they can either leave you speechless
Hmm.
or leave you to where you can't stop talking. And so we know that there's going to be such, specific audiences that these films are going to speak to in different ways. So we felt like, putting them in this watch party type experience would be a great way to, again, as we're in this time, be
Hmm.
together or feel some type of togetherness, even though we're
Right.
apart. So, yeah.
All part of the
Hmm.
PBS community. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things, as I went down the list of categories,
Hmm.
it's, they're all, dinner table discussion categories. There's nothing
Oh,
there that
yes.
isn't important at this point in time. Who
Hmm.
came up with the idea of the specific categories?
Thank you for that question. So okay, so we've been doing the film festival for a while, and
Yeah.
typically we have just put all 25 films out there that have
Hmm.
typically fallen into different categories, but we never categorized them because I wanted to make sure that the films that ended up in the film festival, that they were the strongest films, that they were
Right.
selected organically, and we weren't trying to like fit them into different categories. But
Right.
this year I said, you know what, it's time. It's time to put them into categories because I felt like some of the users felt overwhelmed when they
Hmm.
knew there were 25 films, to watch. And I kind of felt like, well, if we break them up, it would be easier to digest, and then people can really find the content that they're looking for. So
Hmm.
I still wanted the process to be as organic as possible. This process started back in February. I just want to be clear about the timing. In
Hmm.
February, when we were screening films, once we got to that top 25, like once we got to those 25 films,
Hmm.
that's when I said, okay, now that we have the 25, let's look and let's read through these descriptions. Let's figure out what these films are about, and then we'll put them into categories. So these categories were extremely, extremely, just they came from the films themselves. So the films were selected first, and then they were put into categories.
So it's
So
more of
that's
an,
how we did it.
yeah, it's more of an organic process. It wasn't
Absolutely.
specifically
Yeah.
looking for something. It just fell into it because that's where it landed.
Absolutely. And so it was one of those things where after the films were selected, I worked with a couple people on our programming team actually, and they were super helpful with helping me, because I definitely wanted to bounce my ideas off of a lot of different people. And so they helped me finalize these 5 categories, and this is where we landed, and I'm so happy. So this category work actually, we had landed on our categories, I
Hmm.
would say, by the beginning of April. So it was actually before, the the eventual unrest and everything that happened,
Right.
in the country. And so it was one of those things where, the film festival was already positioned to
Hmm.
tell these stories and to get these, perspectives from these different filmmakers out there. We were already gearing up for that for July. Yeah.
The other part is that, over again, as someone who's followed the film festival over the years, you just keep getting better and better and
Oh,
better and
thank
better
you.
judges and better content. This year's panel of judges is impressive.
Thank you. Yes. So that was another thing that, I said, I think it was maybe like 3 years ago. We had always had the most popular or, People's Choice Award. That was always out there. But I was like, you know what? I'm ready for the film festival to come into a space where, it's more recognized not only as like a popularity contest of sorts, but also, recognized as far as, being a standard, in the independent film community, in the public media community. So I took my time. And I was very deliberate in selecting the jury and asking these people to be a part of the film festival. And I'm so proud to say that, we've had the same jurors, for the past like couple of years. Unfortunately, we've had to have a couple drop off due to the pandemic, just because of other projects that they had to work on during this time and, things like that. But I'm still super proud to have the jury that, that we have, this year.
One of the other things, and this is where the participation part comes in. So those of you listening out there, pay attention. And that is that, we don't get a chance to go to Cannes, okay, or to Sundance or the big film festivals. This is your chance, folks, to be involved in a film festival, enjoy all of the perks that you would get from attending these phenomenal events, but also give feedback. And, that's kind of a fun situation. So let's become interactive here. This is an opportunity for those of you out there who love films. We know, yes, you do. We know that you love PBS because we all do. And we know that it's important to connect with PBS and let them know what you like and don't like. So you really open it up so that people can get access to it. You don't have to have the PBS app to do it, but you can. I'm a Passport subscriber since the early days that they came out. And such a ton. Don't want to. This is an important part of the job, Taryn. You got to plug that.
I love it. Yes.
Let me slide you into that. Okay, plug time. The situation with regard to Passport, is that you get all the cool stuff that you may not get otherwise. But it's go ahead and do the usual, contribution and get the mug, and the tote bag. But by all means, Passport is the cool one. Go get Passport because then you get everything. And not that you won't, but this gives you the opportunity to get it on demand too, which is going to be helpful. But participation is key, and let's try to help Taryn and the gang out here on PBS.
Thank you. Yes, I just have to give a big shout out to our Passport team. I mean, when I tell you that they work around the clock to think of very special and very, just user focused and membership focused ways to make sure that content is available and packaged nicely. They do an amazing job with that. And, so the film festival, for the 2 weeks that it's running, of course, it's not going to be in Passport, but still just want to make sure that, I just want to echo what you're saying, that Passport is an amazing offering that we have at PBS. But yeah, for participation, when you talk about participation, so there's a lot of ways to participate. So on July 13th, you're going to see, so if you go to pbs.org/film festival right now, you're going to see like a splash site where I have like a sizzle and there's a ticker letting you know how many days until we launch. You can watch the sizzle and also learn about the film festival. We have a viewing party kit. So, and we've had a viewing party kit, even, pre-pandemic and before, for several years now, we've had it to where you can, we've given you questions that you can, ask of the people that you would watch with. And of course, in this environment, virtually, and discuss, different films that, make you feel different ways. But in addition to that, so on July 13th, though, the site will flip over and it's going to look like an entirely different site, and you'll be able to vote, meaning like we're going to use like a nice little heart icon, very clear right there for all the films that you like, vote, click that heart button and that'll be you voting for that film. And also using the thumbs up on YouTube on each of the films. That's a vote. And then also the like and the love button on Facebook. Those are also counting, we're counting all of those as votes. And then another part will be just the engagement. So you actually streaming the films, that will actually lump up into the vote as well. So you absolutely can be as, active with this film festival as you want to be. And that's one of the reasons why I love putting it on every year, because I'm telling you, the people out there that participate in the film festival, they never cease to amaze me. I always think that one film or maybe a couple of films are going to, take it away or do something. And then, it's just amazing how these films, they take on a life of their own and they get their own audience, and just the conversations that come out of them are amazing. So our winner last year, BT Lives in the Stitch, a beautiful story about a woman who puts on a knitting, class after school for children in an underprivileged neighborhood. And I'm telling you, by the time that film, it went on to win the film festival last year, and the amount of donations of yarn and supplies and everything that came out of that film being featured in the film festival, it's such a beautiful story, and it's the reason why I do this. That's exactly why. So it was really exciting.
What's amazing too, because I remember that film, and on face value, you would think, okay, fine,
Exactly.
I'll give it a shot. Why not? And then halfway through it, you're you're Googling how to become someone who can knit. By the end of it, you're on YouTube videos. As you're like, yeah, the hell.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but to your point, you've got films that are not just entertaining, okay, because they are entertaining, but they also have a message.
Yes.
And it's that message that I think more than anything is so important in these days, folks. You need to pay attention. And as Taryn is saying, look, they do everything short of providing you the popcorn. Okay, just go to the site. This will be my 6th or 7th film festival I've watched on PBS, and I think that every year it gets better, and every year there's more intense competition, and you're gonna find something you like, believe me, and it's well worth your time. So that's gonna be cool. Again, it's coming up. This is going to drop uh, along with a column on the 12th. So you're gonna have 24 hours to get yourself ready for the film festival. And we'll have all the information in the show box as well as in the column, so that you'll find out how to go to the Facebook pages. But I would be derelict in my duty, Taryn, if I did not say that you also have other stuff coming this summer. So if you give us a little preview, you don't have to give us any spoiler alerts, but a little preview of some of the stuff that is coming this summer beyond, of course, this very important and fun film festival.
Yes. So, yeah, we are always, thinking of the best ways to bring content, to the forefront and make sure, that we are just providing a lot of amazing things for our audiences. I don't even know where to start. Let me see. We definitely, will continue our drama offerings, as we do, Endeavor is coming back in August.
I can't wait for that, actually. That's going to be fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I was like, I don't know, as Masterpiece does an amazing job with all of their dramas. But yeah, so I'm excited for the new season of Endeavor. Right now we're featuring Trailblazers, and even tonight, on American Masters, we're there. So, they have this amazing episode called Unladylike 2020, and it's all about these women pioneers, and just we've been in this trailblazer like theme for a while, from And She Could Be Next with POV. That was a major film that we just aired on POV this past week. The Vote on American Experience that just aired this week as well. It's all about women's suffrage movement. So we're going to be continuing with our Trailblazers theme, as well as, like I said, with our amazing dramas coming up, and we have a lot more.
Well, I'm so hooked on Grantchester. I'm so hooked on Grantchester.
Oh yes, yes.
And it's an obsession. It's funny. I just a couple of days ago caught up with Laura Carmichael, Lady Edith, for those of you Downton Abbey fans.
Yes.
And she just did a brand new show in Australia that's coming to the U.S. soon, and we talked about all the stuff that goes on with PBS, and she wasn't really familiar until she came to the States and realized that a lot of the content that they produce and that she's either involved in some way or another shows up on PBS, and so she's now a fan. So we got Lady Edith on our
Well,
side.
thank you. I appreciate that.
I did send her the link, by the way, with regard to the film festival. So
oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
We'll see if Lady Edith is involved in any of these discussions.
That would be great.
But Laura's a great person and a super talent. And there's so many things on PBS to watch. And again, I can't, this is unsolicited because I pay for my 2 passports, one to support Maryland Public TV and one to support WETA. And they're fantastic. They give you all the content you could possibly ever want, and it's all unique. And Taryn, I wish you all the best with this upcoming film festival. We'll be on it, and we will have this up so that people know where to find it, how to get it, and hopefully the 50,000 so folks who follow us around the world will, chime in and have fun because, folks, this is good stuff. And look, as I said before, you don't have to travel to Sundance. You don't have to travel to Cannes. With Tara and her gang is bringing it to you. What more can you ask? Supply your own popcorn and own soft drinks. Other than that, you're good.
Well, also, but I just on the popcorn note though, in the viewing party kit, we have also provided recipes so that you can even we have even food for suggested menus for you as you watch.
And there's more.
Yeah, there's more. Yes. So, but I can't thank you enough for having me again.
Oh, it's my pleasure as always.
It's just wonderful to talk to you, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Special thanks to our guest today, Taryn Stewart, Senior Manager, Multiplatform Marketing with PBS Digital. Check out the 9th Annual PBS Short Film Festival, which begins July 13th and runs through the 24th. All the information in the show box below. Highly recommend you do it. We'll be back with more of Stream On right after this from our friends at BMW.
At BMW, we know leaving the road wasn't easy, but anticipating our return taught us to appreciate every drive. The exhilaration of the ultimate adventure. Moments spent with your favorite co-pilots. And the freedom to explore just because. Our time to rejoin the road is finally here.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Now, if you're not one of the over 50,000 people who've joined our little happy family here, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, we certainly do make it simple. You can find us at the Apple Podcast Store. Same thing happens over at Google Play. You can find us at the Google Podcast Store. You can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, as well as TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, and, of course, YouTube, just to name a few. Now, if you can't find us there and you have an assistant device like Alexa or Google or any of the Apple products, because the answer, of course, is Siri, all you have to do is say, hey, Alexa, could you please play the latest edition of Stream On with Jim Williams? And guess what? They'll do it for you, making it even more simple. All right. Now, if for some reason you can't do it that way, not a problem. Pull out the old Google machine, type in Stream On with Jim Williams, hit the favorite button or the subscribe button, and each week you'll get a brand new edition of the podcast sent directly to your home via your phone or your tablet. Okay? All right. Very cool. As I said, simple to do. Please go out and do that for us today. Special thanks to Taryn J. Stewart, the Senior Manager of Multiplatform Marketing with PBS Digital. She is the head of the PBS Short Film Festival Initiative. 9th annual PBS Short Film Festival is being launched on Monday, the 13th, on all their digital platforms. It runs to the 24th. I highly recommend both watching the films and being part of the participation in their watch parties. It's a lot of fun, folks. You're going to meet people online who may very well become friends of yours. So by all means, check it out. And they've got something for everyone. So PBS 9th Annual Short Film Festival coming up on Monday and going through the 24th. It's a great way to spend your summer with our friends at PBS. So check that out. As I said before, highly recommend. Okay? All right. So coming up, as we get into the long, hot dog days of summer, we will be joined by our friends at Sundance Now, as well as Showtime, CBS, and of course, NBC Peacock. That's what's coming up in the weeks to come. So by all means, if you want to have some fun, join us every week here on Stream On. We're going to have some really cool people to talk to as we all get through this long, hot summer. Okay? All right. Well, for the entire gang here at Stream On, I'm Jim Williams, wishing you a safe and all, very importantly, healthy week ahead of you, and we will see you next time right here on Stream On.